Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another edition of the Focus program. I'm Pastor D.W. Tolbert, pastor New Hope Baptist Church here in Muskegon, Michigan. Thank you again for tuning in for another broadcast, another televised broadcast of our program. And we are so delighted because today, as always, we have another wonderful program lined up for you today. My very special guest today is Coach Keith Guy, who is the coach of the Muskegon Big Reds. Yay! Go Red, go! Go ahead. I'm so happy to have him with us. Welcome, Coach.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Welcome. He's been doing a wonderful job for the team and the school as a whole and our whole West Michigan for many years now. So we're delighted to have him with us. And he's going here to share about the upcoming or the season going on now and get his perspective on things. So thank you again, Coach, and happy to have you.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm honored to be here.
Well, praise God. We thank God for you. And so give us a overall view or summary on this year, 2019-20 coming up and going on right now.
Yeah, we are fortunate to have 9 seniors returning.
Wow, that's great.
We have a lot of experience, and then we have some good underclassmen that joined the 9 seniors.
Okay.
So as every year, it's high expectations, and we're looking to win a state championship and go as far as we can go.
Yeah.
We have a lot of good kids. We have probably 7 of those kids will be National Honor Society kids.
Oh, good.
Out of the 9 seniors, all of them will have an opportunity to play at the next level, whether it's football or basketball. And so they all have scholarship opportunities, and that's what it's all about. We're built on 2 things, scholarships and championships, and we want to make sure that kids get an opportunity.
That's awesome.
To have a better life after high school.
That's awesome. Pushing, the education is awesomely important.
Absolutely.
We all know that, and so I'm glad to hear that. You said 7 out of the 10 seniors.
9 out of 9.
9 out of the 9. Wow, that's awesome. And so, going to school and getting that education and playing ball at the same time, what an experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's tremendous. That's tremendous. So, how's the season looking thus far? The team shaping up real good.
Well, yeah, we're fortunate enough to be 1-0. We played a tough Rockford team a week or so ago.
Okay.
After only having 7 practices because we got started late with football.
Because of football,
but we're used to that. And our kids, I thought we played a really good game considering having 7 practices. So, and then we took a couple of weeks off to practice and prepare for our next game, which is coming up Friday the 27th at Reese Puffer versus East Kentwood. And so they're a really good opponent. We have a really tough schedule this year. We play several ranked teams, and our conference is tougher this year, so it should be an interesting year.
Okay, and what is it? Over the holiday, right after New Year, you have the all
basketball showcase.
That's right. The showcase is coming just
January
right around
4th.
the corner.
Yep, January 4th. Again, we have another great event planned. We have Oak Park versus. We have Oak Park versus Henry Ford.
Okay.
And that game will start at 4 o'clock. And then we have Detroit Martin Luther King versus Ypsilanti at 5:30. And then we're the nightcap game versus Chicago Curry at 7. So you can get 3 great high school games for $10.
Awesome. Yeah. I've gone to that. It is awesome. It really is. It's a good time, and there's some really good teams.
Absolutely. And a lot of good players, Division I players, be coming through the gym that day.
Yeah.
And, it's a great event, and it's one that you can enjoy basketball for several hours that day, and it's a family event.
Right. Probably a lot of scouts there too on that day.
Absolutely.
Who's who? And let's pick them out. Yeah. That's good. That's a wonderful time. Like you said, a lot of great basketball for $10. I mean, it kind of looks like the college level out there. It really does.
And that's what we want to do. We want to bring in good basketball and good events to our area, and the neutral basketball fan can come and enjoy this. You don't have to have a dog in the fight, so to speak. You can just come in if you enjoy basketball and come watch the great game that we love.
Right. Absolutely. Well, Coach, tell us about your background in this awesome adventure. I mean, you've been in this a long time now, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm in my 17th year
Wow.
and, as a head coach. And, I've been around the game all my life. I picked up a basketball at the age of 3. And, it's still in my hands right now. So, I played at Muskegon Heights.
Okay.
Graduated from there, went on to play a couple of years at Muskegon Community College. And played after there at Ferris State University.
Okay.
And then I was the grad assistant coach there. Then I came back and coached the freshman team at West Michigan Christian. And then I was assistant coach at Muskegon Community College for a couple of years. And then I came back to Muskegon Heights, where I was assistant coach for 2 years, and then took over as head coach for 9.
Okay.
And now I'm at Muskegon. This is my 8th year there.
8th year at Muskegon.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you had came on at Muskegon just right at the same time we came to Muskegon, which has been about right at 7 years. So about a year before we came, you had taken things over and just, turned it upside down.
Oh, man. You know what? God's been good to me.
Yes,
it's just been one of those things where you had to listen to him, and I had to leave home, and I thought God used me to kind of bridge the two communities together.
Yes, indeed He did through the athletics. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So you really have to really love this. It's almost like a calling on your life, to really put your all into it. I watched you at work, and you have an extreme passion.
Oh, I love
for the game, but you have an extreme passion for the players and the whole process. It goes beyond winning,
right,
to just caring so much about the players and the integrity of the game.
Absolutely, it's it's not on the level that you do it as a pastor, but it is similar when you're talking about building relationships. And so people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Right.
And so we build a lot of relationships off the floor with the kids. We spend a lot of time with them, and I think that's what allows us to be so successful. It's not necessarily the X's and O's all the time. It's all about and strategy and those types of things. Those things are important, but the relationship building is beyond measure.
Right.
Because we do a lot of things. We have sleepovers. We go out to eat. We have team functions, and we have one-on-one meetings. It's just a lot of things that we do that the kids know that we really, really care about them.
Yes.
And the relationship goes beyond basketball. Every kid, for the most part, that has played for our program, we still have a relationship with them. We still talk to them, and that's at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. For me.
Right. That's wonderful, and I picked up on that immediately. About you, and I thought it was very, very commendable. When I played athletics, and when I was in high school, I really only seen the coach at practice and games. Where there was no, we didn't spend time outside of the school context. And but I know, I see you at weddings, I see you at homegoings for families, and and then being a part of the church as well, connecting in that regard, and social functions, just all around, just an all around person that's there, and like you said, building those relationships and making those connections, and it makes all the difference. It makes all the difference, and I think that it's part of your winning strategy. Myself, I truly do, because the players are really connect with you as well as the families of these players.
Absolutely. We have great families and great parents, and to kind of elaborate on your point, when we were coming through school, we didn't require as much, but now I think today's kid requires a lot, and so we have to give them what they require, and some of them are looking for attention, and you have to give it to them.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not about, the game of basketball. It's about the game of life.
Right.
And if you could show them things about how to love themselves, how to treat others right, and treat the game right, then the winning and those types of things will take care of itself. If you just try to make them into good young men, good people, good citizens, I think that will go a long ways, a lot further than basketball.
Right. It's also, we're in the Christian context here today, and I think it's another awesome thing to have a person like yourself in the position that you are in, such high profile, such great influence. People of all types look up to you in a tremendous manner to be a Christian man. Mm-hmm. And it's awesome. And I know you are born and raised in a Christian, in a Christian home and Christian environment. It's in your DNA.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
And how does that influence you today in your work and so forth?
Everything I do is revolved around my upbringing in the church.
Praise God.
And I don't hide that. I'm proud of that. I'm happy that I had parents to instill in me the Christian values and to make it important for us to go to church, and to treat people right and learn about God, and I'm happy about that because that's the same thing I do with my kids. I think a lot of times people say kids changed today.
Yeah.
And I have to respectfully disagree because I think the kids didn't change. I think the adults changed.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that, I think a lot of parents felt like they didn't want to treat their kids the way the parents treated them.
Yeah.
And I'm the opposite. I want to do what my parents did to me because I think it worked, and I want to continue to instill that. I'm an old school guy, and I'm proud of that. I'm not going to change that. I think certain things in life change, and certain things don't.
Yeah.
And these basic principles are just what they are, basic principles, and you have to build that foundation and put that into your kids, and I think that's where I think we have to get back to it as a society.
Right. We're very proud of you and your family, your whole family and everything. You guys are a pillar in the community, and for many years you have been. And so we certainly acknowledge that,
thank you.
And we appreciate that. And the next generation is picking up that torch of your family and moving on. And so that's a wonderful thing, something I know you're proud of as well, and I know your folks are really proud of you,
absolutely.
And so on. You're one of the who's who in West Michigan.
I appreciate that. It comes down to pastor. Like I ask my guys and my basketball team a lot of times, do you like what you do? Mm-hmm. Do you love what you do? Mm-hmm. Or do you live what you do? Yeah. And it used to be just like what you do and love what you do, but now it's about do you live what you do?
Yeah.
And if you do, that means you love what you're doing.
Yeah.
And so, and all of those things encompass into one, makes you successful in what you're trying to do. I live basketball. I live being a Christian. I live being a good person.
Right.
And that's what, if you can live it, it's good habits.
Right. Yeah, that's wonderful. You are truly a successful person. That's wonderful. And speaking of successful, you have not only one now, but two players who are in the NBA as a coach. Wow.
Well, just awesome. One in the NBA and one is overseas playing.
One's
so
overseas.
Two pros, professionals.
Two professionals.
Yep. We
awesome.
have Deontay Davis, who's playing right now with the Santa Cruz Warriors. That's the Golden State G League team.
Okay.
He's in Santa Cruz, and hopefully he'll get a call up to the big team soon.
Good.
And then we have Deshaun Thoreau, who just signed the contract to play with the Windsor Express in Canada. And so I'm happy for him. He's done everything that we've asked of him, and he's now starting to reap some of the benefits.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I've seen both of these guys play, and they're awesome players. And Deontay, he was just unbelievable. He was a non-stopping basketball machine.
Yeah, he's gifted. God blessed him with the gift, and he can. It's certain people that have to work to be so good, and certain people are just blessed with it, and he's blessed with the gift of playing the game of basketball.
Yeah, yes, he is. Wow. I guess that's probably the highlight of every high school coach is to see a player rise up to go pro. Huh?
It's one of them for me. But the biggest thing for me is my biggest highlight is seeing every kid that play for us graduate.
Okay. That's
one. And then number two is seeing every player play for us graduate, but also have an opportunity to play at the next level. So in our 17 years, we've been fortunate enough to have every kid have the opportunity to play at the next level.
Wow.
Except one kid.
Wow.
So we're extremely proud of the fact that kids have a life after playing for us.
Yeah, that's good. And with all the scholarships available, many of them have virtually gotten free rides, I believe, right?
Absolutely, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
My parents couldn't afford for me to go to college. They didn't have money set aside for us because they couldn't afford it. So I had to figure out a way to get that degree with less debt as possible.
Right.
And basketball happened to be that avenue. And as I see some of these kids now in the inner city, they remind me of myself. And their parents didn't and don't have money set aside for them. So we have to get creative and try to figure out what can we do and what's our niche to get them out of here.
Okay.
And athletics have to be it. And I know society sometimes frowns on, they put too much emphasis on athletics and these types of things. But at the end of the day, we don't, because our kids, that's the way they can get out of their situations.
That's true.
And
that's
so,
true.
I don't think we should be embarrassed by the fact that, these are avenues for our kids, and since they're avenues, we have to use them.
Right, that's true. That's true. Do you see the future of the Muskegon program going strong, really strong? Do you see that continuing, really?
Oh, absolutely. We're in a good place. We have some good coaches, good families that believe in what we do. And so I think it's going to continue to go strong. When I look at the lower levels and I look at Little League basketball and Little League football, and then we're building up some other sports, I think our athletic department is very, very strong and will be stronger for years to come.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that, because that way, you said the little fellas. Heard you mention that, because that's where your future team's coming from.
Absolutely.
I imagine you probably go around to those events too, and
I go to a lot of the little kids' games.
Yeah.
And I just try to build relationships with families, and I try to go to the elementary schools here and there.
Yeah.
And just show my face and just show them how important they are to us. Not as a basketball player, but as a student and as a person.
Right.
And the rest of the stuff can take care of itself. I understand that, as much as I would like to coach all of them, things happen where, parents make a decision to send them elsewhere. So I just care about them as a person.
Okay. That's good. Yeah, that's awesome. I remember when we were originally trying to connect to do this interview, I ran into a date where you said you couldn't make it because, you had to go to a homegoing service for one of the young men who was managing, the team and everything. And so, that's awesome, that you're connected to them like that. That's just really awesome.
We're family for life.
Right.
To me, it's hypocritical as a coach to only coach and say I care about these kids, but when the seasons or when their careers are over, then I'm nowhere to be found. I couldn't live with myself,
right?
Not trying to keep the relationship, because that's what it's all about: lifetime relationships. Continuing to show, to be a mentor to them, because a lot of times, they don't have anybody to bounce things off, to vent, or to just even have a good conversation. So I just want to be that person. Now I understand that it might not be me. I have some really good assistant coaches that really, kind of fill the void or kind of take some other kids and have good relationships with them. So with us four and our lower level coaches, there's somebody that you can connect to.
Yeah, good. That's good. If there was one single greatest moment in your basketball coaching career, what do you think that would be, if you want to share that with us?
A couple is just, every kid graduates.
Oh, okay.
That's just great for me. And then every kid have the opportunity to go to school. But the basketball moment for me is us winning the state championship.
Okay.
And
awesome.
we was 28-0. We went perfect that year, and that rarely happens. And a lot of good things came out of that year. And so that was, from a basketball perspective, probably the best.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good. Awesome. I can imagine, how you're feeling about everybody graduating and going on to really become a productive citizen in the world, you know, and because, you know, like I said, the influence that you have on these kids, you know, will stay with them the rest of their lives. I mean, I remember my coaches.
Absolutely.
You know, I remember them very vividly, you know, and some of them are deceased now. But I remember them very vividly. They had that great of impact on your life, and it's just an indelible print. And so, you know, they'll never forget you.
Absolutely.
And what you did for them, and so becoming a part of their lives like that must be an awesome thing.
It is, and I'll have to admit, it's not always, you know, peaches and cream, as they say. I mean, we have some times where, you know, we fall out.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I'm trying to, and we are trying to, as a staff, hold kids accountable.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of lost in society today, where we don't want to tell anybody the truth anymore.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or when you tell the truth, they can't handle the truth. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to sound like that movie, but but I want to always be that. You know, I want to hold people accountable. I want people to hold me accountable, and I want people to be truthful to me. If sometimes we're doing things that affect people in a negative way and we don't know it, and if someone in your circle is honest with you, they should be able to come to you if they care about you and tell you that you are affecting somebody in a negative way. And those things rarely happen today. And I think that's what we try to build too, is just accountability. You know, if we saying you got to be here at practice starts at 12, you can't walk to the practice floor at 12. You have to be on the practice floor before practice starts, before 12. You know, if you're not going to be there, if you're going to be late, you have to call in advance. Your parents can't call. You have to call. No text messages, because you can't text into your work when you, you know, so we try to teach these lessons to hold kids accountable. We want to make sure that kids are not missing class. If they miss class, it's going to cost you. If you're late for class, it's going to cost you. So it's just, you know, just accountability. And I think that's, you know, again, go back to those old school principles and telling the truth. And I think that makes better young men for us.
Yeah, that's awesome, because, you know, when I was brought up, you know, on those same kind of principles, you know, athletics more than anything else, it builds character.
Absolutely.
And it teaches you how to work together as a team in a team environment.
Absolutely.
And so those are good things, you know. And I know, you know, we kind of share that experience, you know, with you from the church perspective. You know, when you're trying to institute a little discipline, you know, put some parameters out there. You know, we kind of get, you know, people bucking. Trying to buck the system. We want, you know, you got to be on time.
They want to vote you out.
Yeah, you know, you got it. But and we run into the same thing. But that's a marvelous thing, because at some point in their lives, you know, that has to be injected into them.
Absolutely.
And hopefully it gets in there while they're young, so those things grow up with them, as opposed to, you know, when they're older and harder to bend a tree as it gets older.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's good. That's good. You know, you have a tremendous amount of work.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
On and off the court.
Yeah, but you know what? If it's when you enjoy what you do, it's really not work.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just fun, and I enjoy every day being a part of these young men's lives, and just being able to impact them in certain type of ways, and it's just some type of way, and I'm just happy that God has chose me to be a part of these young men's lives, because, you know, he could have chose anybody. I'm just fortunate. I don't take the duty lightly. Yeah.
Well, you're doing an awesome job, and I just can't say that enough. We're so proud of you. Must be tough for you to get out of Myers grocery store, huh?
It's tough. It's tough. But
hey, coach.
It's tough. But you know what? I love it. I mean, I grew up loving people. I love people. I love having good conversations. You know, I mean, that's just what it's all about. I just like people. Love interacting with people. Meeting new people.
Right.
So it's tough, but it's also fun.
Yeah, I know. I bet it is. I bet it is. But people love you, man. They love you, and I appreciate it, and we love you. We support you as well, and we thank God for you.
Hey, listen, I appreciate you, and Mrs. Tolbert as well. I mean, you guys, a lot of people don't know it. You've been supportive since you've been in town. Come to the schools and volunteer your time. Come to our games and sit behind us. And have me not thinking about basketball because you guys have the chicken behind, and I'm trying to borrow chicken wings from you. But I mean, we're happy to have you. We're blessed in the community to have you two here as well.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. We're going to have to go. We're just about out of time and everything. But again, I know that you're busy, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your very, very busy schedule. The season is just getting started and getting rolling down the road. And we believe it's going to be a great, great time, a great season, very successful, a winning season. And so we're looking forward to that. So, you are in our prayers. We keep you in our prayers.
We appreciate that.
You and the team. We want everybody to be safe and healthy. Absolutely. For the whole team, no injuries and anything like that, so that everybody have a wonderful time and we all end up good, real good.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. We
appreciate
thank your prayers. We really do. And
And
I'm honored to be here. Thanks for having me, and I've had a great time.
Praise God. Thank you again, Coach. Well, we're all out of time, and we just want to say thank you to our viewing audience today. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as we prepare to leave, we want you to remember, always remember, and never forget, when you get with Jesus, you're going up. God bless you, and see you next time.